Welcome back to Cox Connections. SySTEMic Solutions is developing a sustainable STEM pipeline in Northern Virginia. They engage students in elementary school and inspire them to continue to pursue STEM education in high school, college, and in the workforce through a collaboration with schools, businesses, and community organizations. Here to tell us about their program is Charles Britt. Welcome, Charles. You are the coordinator, STEM coordinator at SySTEMic Solutions for Northern Virginia Community College. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. And thanks for having me here today.
Absolutely. Tell us about the relationship with Northern Virginia Community College and its Education Foundation.
The Northern Virginia Community College Educational Foundation basically serves as a catalyst for raising funds to support initiatives for the college, such as scholarships, developing teacher development programs, the introduction of new courses, and also some of our outreach programs, which SySTEMic Solutions is one of those.
And tell us about SySTEMic Solutions.
We get that question all the time. Well, we sort of play on the word systemic, but it's the college's K through 16 STEM outreach program where we work with our local businesses and school districts to find ways to engage students around science, technology, engineering, and math in hopes that they would, of course, consider graduating with a degree in STEM and then going into the STEM workforce here in Northern Virginia.
That's terrific. And what kind of programs do you have? You have some phenomenal programs. Tell our viewers about them.
Yes, we do have lots of programs that keep me quite busy and also busy engaging our partners in the area. One of our biggest programs is VEX Robotics. You can't go to a school, a community center, and not pull out a robot and find kids getting really excited about robots. Well, what we try to do is use that as a vehicle to show them how science, math, and engineering applies to the building of this robot, and it puts them in an opportunity to be able to compete in international competition. What our program does is we work with schools and also community centers to provide students kits with generous donations from our funders. We give them the kits, and then they're paired with a mentor or a coach that assists them over a certain number of months in building the robot. In addition to building the robot, they actually learn about team building, collaboration, learning from failure when things don't work right, and the opportunity that they get is after they've built the robot to then come to a local competition and compete to advance to higher levels such as a state and a world competition.
And you've had some great success in that already.
We have. We've had 2 teams in their rookie years, their first year out, actually make it to the state championship, which we hold in Doswell, Virginia. And we've been very excited to see teams here in Fairfax move so quickly up the ladder that it's actually generated interest in other schools to spread the program around the county.
That's great. And you also have a Cyber Patriot program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Cyber Patriot. As you know, not a day goes by we don't hear about breaches at Target, Home Depot, and all these places. So around the nation, cities and communities are putting a larger emphasis on cyber security and how communities and individuals can be prepared to protect themselves from the many threats that are out there. One of the programs that we engage with is called Cyber Patriot. Northrop Grumman Corporation, which is right here in Fairfax County, is a signature sponsor of this program. And this is for students in grades 9 through 12. And it allows them the opportunity to compete. They're giving a particular computer system and told that there are vulnerabilities in that computer. You go in, you find the vulnerabilities while making sure that the system stays secure throughout the entire competition. It's very challenging. It happens in a very quick period of time, but the best teams, of course, advance to, again, at the state level, then to the national championship. And again, we've got award-winning kids and students here in Fairfax. For the this is actually the 4th year in a row, a team from Marshall High School in Falls Church has made it to the national championships, which just were held about 2 weeks ago.
Amazing.
Yes.
You also have a program called Hour of Code.
Yes, Hour of Code. Well, this is how I like to describe it. You know, when we were in school, it was all about reading, writing, and arithmetic. Well, the reading and writing is still there. We went to keyboarding. Now we're going to coding. It's like now become the universal language that we feel like children should know across the country, because every device that we use is somehow coded, provided with instructions on how it operates. So we engage in it's an international program called Hour of Code, where for 1 hour, we engage students in using some type of platform to show them how coding is easy to do and friendly. They ranges from the certain grade levels, so we have something for elementary school kids that they can engage in so they can drag and drop their activities, middle and also high school. And we partner with local businesses. This year we worked with Google, company New Star, which is in Tyson's Corner, and also a company in Chantilly, to host field trips for kids to be able to go to the sites and not only learn about coding, but figure out how companies are using it to serve their customer base here in the region.
Great. And then finally, you have a program called STEMtastics, not gymnastics, but STEMtastics.
STEMtastics, yes. And this is a unique program. We were approached by the Fairfax County chapters of the American Association of University Women. I want to make sure I get that correct. And they were interested in growing a program that exposes girls to the wonderful world of STEM and the careers that are the careers that are available to them. So we partner with them, and every March, which is actually happening this Saturday, we'll be bringing over 300 girls to the Nova Annandale campus for them to hear from keynote speakers and also be able to participate in hands-on workshops led by all-female engineers and scientists, where they actually break down what they do every day and how what the kids are learning in school is important to them being prepared for those careers.
Amazing. Those are wonderful programs. What do you need to operate those programs, and how can our viewers help support your fabulous efforts?
This is one of those situations where it takes a village. It takes a lot of folks and a lot of resources to kind of manage, with Fairfax having such a large community, not only just a number of schools, but kids who want to get engaged. One of our biggest needs are for volunteers. We do get funding to support our program, but on the ground, once you've kind of engaged the kids, you need folks that can help you run the programs. So volunteers are important. A lot of the events that I just described, all of them have competitions, and we need folks to serve as judges. The more kids we get involved, the more judges that we need. We also need individuals who are willing to serve as mentors or coaches to the teams that want to get engaged. In many of these communities that we're working in, there isn't a presence of a major employer or technology company, so we do rely heavily on many of our employers in the region to help support us by showing up to do career days, job shadowing days, and things like that to expose kids to the careers outside of the classroom. The other thing that we need is input from corporations. What are the needs of these companies? What are the skills that we really should be showing to the children? And then also giving them a chance to be able to meet and greet with some of their engineers and scientists, so it becomes real. You know, you hear the adage, seeing is believing, and that's how it works in technology. We can talk about science and technology and robots, but it's not until that kid actually goes into a company and sees how it's being used in the real world to solve real world challenges that then it becomes a passion of theirs to want to pursue that in their careers.
So you need people to invest their time in the program, volunteering, yes, mentoring, having their corporation step up. And it's also okay to give you money, right?
Yes, and it's also okay to give us money.
And sponsorships from corporations and involvement.
Yeah, and much like, of course, Cox Charities, which recently granted us funding to support some of our teams. Not all of our teams are in the schools. Some of them are in community centers across Fairfax County through our partnership with Neighborhood and Community Services. So those funds help provide additional equipment, transportation costs, and things like that a lot of us take for granted, that in some communities they can't afford that. So we do accept donations, but a lot of times support, even if it's just a one-day thing or over a couple months, helps build the capacity and sustainability for our programs as well.
That's great. How can our viewers learn more about this unbelievable program and how they can participate?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to talk about it here. So now we've got a video that we can now share to spread the word about our program. But the best way to find out about us is to go to our website, which is www.nvcc.edu/SySTEMic. And there on the website, it'll only talk about what we're doing in Fairfax, but what we're doing across the entire Northern Virginia region. And there's contact information for each of the coordinators in those respective areas that you can call or email to figure out how your company, or as individuals, parents, groups, professionals, can get involved in helping us spread the excitement around STEM.
Terrific. Well, good luck to you, and I hope that you get resources to expand this phenomenal program.
Yes, we're growing rapidly. More and more kids want to get involved, so that means more and more hands are needed in order to support our activities.
Great. Charles, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. The pleasure was mine.
Thanks, and thanks for joining me on this episode of Cox Connections. But before you go, I want to personally thank you for choosing Cox Communications for your entertainment, information, and communications needs. We know you could have chosen another provider, but because you chose us, we pledge to be a friend you can trust. We promise to provide you with quality products backed by a talented local team of professionals that will help you stretch your dollar. And from all your friends and neighbors here at Cox, we thank you for joining us on this edition of Cox Connections.